Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Good day and welcome to Fusion Mobile e-learning class. My name is Fayomi Kende and this is English language. Today we are going to be treating grammatical structure. In other grammatical structure, we are going to be taking a look at sentence types. We have two major types of sentence. We have the functional type of sentence and we have the structural type of sentence. Let us now quickly go into the functional sentence. The following are the functions that a sentence can perform. It can perform a declarative, it can serve as an imperative, it can serve as an interrogative or an exclamatory. A declarative sentence conveys information or states an idea. It is a statement that ends with a full stop. An example of a declarative sentence can go as follows. I am going to the bank. I am going to the bank. It conveys an information. The information there is where I am going. The imperative sentence gives a command or an order or a direction. An example of an imperative sentence could be get out. That is an order. Get out. Sit down there. Sit down there. Get me my pen. It can serve as a command, an order, or a direction. We also have the interrogative sentence. This type of sentence asks questions and it ends with a question mark. It could be, will you be visiting tomorrow? Is your dad back from his journey? These are questions that are asked ending in question mark. Exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences, these are expressions that show strong feelings. Exclamations may occur as interjections such as, oh, wow, really? These are signs of either joy or surprise, and at times could be disappointment, a feeling of disappointment. And the sign or symbol that shows exclamation is, we treated this earlier in the use of our punctuations. This is the symbol that represents an exclamation or an exclamatory sentence. Now we'll be taking a look at the structural type of sentence. A structural sentence are the following. They show the structure of a sentence, whether a sentence has more than a clause, whether it has subordinate or main clauses, how many subordinate clauses are in the sentence, or how many main clauses are in the sentence. These are determined by the structure of the sentence. And we have a simple sentence, we have the compound sentence, we have the complex sentence, and the compound complex sentence. A simple sentence has only one main or independent clause. A clause is a long group of words that has both a subject and a verb. An independent clause is a group of words with a subject and a finite verb, which expresses a complete thought. Let's take example of a simple sentence. Shola is celebrating a birthday today. Shola is celebrating a birthday today. It is a simple sentence with a clause having both subject, the verb, and ending in full stop. Another example is, what has Ada been doing since morning? What has Ada been doing since morning? We should take note that it is not necessarily a statement. It could be in form of a question as well. As long as it has the subject and the predicate and a finite verb, it is a simple sentence. The compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses. It has no subordinate clause. The different clauses in a compound sentence are usually joined by a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. According to conjunctions in the word, that a coordinating conjunction is a word that joins words, phrases, or clauses of equal ranks together. Examples of coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, etc. Example of a compound sentence is: my mother returned from work and went to the kitchen to cook. My mother returned from work is an independent clause. My mother went to the kitchen to cook is another independent clause. These two main clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunction and, which makes us have my mother returned from work and went to the kitchen to cook. The next, we have the complex sentence. A complex sentence contains one main clause and one or more subordinating clauses. The subordinate clause in a complex sentence is linked to the main clause by means of a subordinating conjunction, such as because, although, unless, whereas, when, if, etc. A subordinate clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb but does not express a complete thought. An example of a subordinate clause could be when it rang. When it rang, it doesn't express a complete thought. Let's take an example of a complex sentence. Afam was sent out of the class because he was making a noise. Afam was sent out of the class because he was making a noise. Afam was sent out of the class is the main clause. He was making a noise is the subordinating clause. Now, the two clauses are joined by the subordinating conjunction because. Another example is, although it was raining, we continued with the lesson because our teacher would not be in class the next day. Although it was raining, we continued the lesson because our teacher would not be in class the next day. This particular sentence has one main clause and two subordinate clauses. The compound complex sentence. It is a sentence that contains at least one subordinate clause and two or more main clauses. It contains at least one subordinate clause. That is, it can contain more than one subordinate clause, and it is made up of more than one subordinate clause, or at least one subordinate clause, then two or more main clauses. Example of such sentence could be: you shall not have tea and go to play unless you finish your homework. Two main clauses are in this sentence and one subordinate clause. Another example is: Bosa told me that he would visit me and help me to do the difficult assignment, but he did not come. This particular sentence has two main clauses and two subordinate clauses. A few questions are going to pop up your screen as regards to functional sentence and structural sentence. You are advised to attempt these questions and see if you can handle them. If you have any difficulties in answering these questions, please review the video once more and update yourself on them.